This is a different way of thinking, and it definitely challenges the status quo, the old guard, and the idea of this is how we've always done it, and we've been successful up to this point. So, unless you really are trying to achieve excellence, it probably isn't for you. It really is if you're trying to make a meaningful change and go to the next level. The workshop was beneficial because it got buy-in. That really is the key feature in all of this is you can't make meaningful change unless at every single level there's conviction to it, because while it's simple, it is not easy. No change is easy. The concept is simple, and if everyone buys into the concept, you'll put up with some short-term growing pains for the end state. And I think that's what the operational workshop got everyone together to really demonstrate this is what the end state's going to look like. And if we all see that that is the better path ahead, we can all buy in at the same time, all see what we're trying to accomplish, and then take those lessons and apply it to our actual business. And then it becomes an analogy for what we're doing. And then we can just say, remember when we did this? Remember when we did this? And it's something you just fall back on. So being a member of SAMA allows us the opportunity to connect with other manufacturers. While Florida is growing as a manufacturing area, I'm originally from the Midwest, and there's certainly a lot more manufacturing just by volume. So there are often people who come to our business and they were like, we had no idea this existed back here. We didn't know people were making things like this right here in town. So I think that's the nice thing about SAMA is it's bringing together companies that within SAMA, we have suppliers, we have other customers, and we have partners. It's a good collection of people with the same pain points, similar goals. So it's been a very good partnership with us. Also, SAMA vetted future state engineering, so we know that what we're seeing meets a level of quality that is going to be worth what we're paying for it and the value that is provided. So we felt comfortable with it from that. So before FSE, we really didn't know what was driving our capacity. We really didn't know. We would place orders, we would take orders, but we really didn't know what was going to be driving the output. If you're trying to meet sales goals, you think maybe just get more sales and you'll end up having more sales and shipping. And what we really come to learn is that our biggest constraint was fulfillment of those orders in manufacturing. So we learned which resource was the most constrained resource within our facility. So working with Future State Engineering, they spoke to many key people, and they went and heard a first-person testimonial for what they observed. It was great to do that because sometimes you're a little too close and you think you have your own opinion on what is causing certain things. They were able to observe and help us diagnose the actual state of where we were as a company. By doing that, it helps with buy-in because when you hear multiple people saying something very similar, it probably is a reality. So it's something that you can prioritize and actually address. So I think that was what really came out of it with the implementation is we could with conviction say, this is our limiting factor as a business, and we can build everything around it and spend money and time and energy. But unless we improve this one thing, which is our, capacity constraint, we will not grow, we will not develop, and we do not have the systems built around it. So we're going to pretty much keep status quo until we make a change.
So we are at the shop floor right now. It's the S&B Metal, and as Charlie was mentioning, the bottleneck, we decided to go out on the floor and actually look at this bottleneck and what was the story behind it. So do you want to explain what do we see?
Sure. So what we learned through the process of future state engineering is that our bottleneck or our constraint is our weld shop, and that whatever work we get out the door in any period of time is going to be restricted to what we can get through the weld shop here. So how it's designed is the work flows through and it stacks up here. And we make sure the weld shop is never starved for work. That way we never lose any time through the weld shop, but the work will consistently move through here, out to inspection, and out the door. Each of the jobs in the weld shop are given job orders, work orders. They're color-coded. So this one has a black sleeve on it, which sadly means it's actually past due. So this is a priority job. So what'll happen is anybody who walks out here and sees a job with a black sleeve on it, that's the immediate they go work on. We have it set up so that red is the next priority, then yellow, then green. But everything that makes it to the weld shop, the goal is to not have it in here very long, but to keep about 1 to 2 days of work always available in the weld shop so that whoever is working, there's always something for them and we're never starving the weld shop, which, as I said, is our constraint.
So that's basically your buffer right here. 1 to 2 days is the buffer.
1 to 2 days is our buffer. So we always keep 1 to 2 days of work. That way we are maximizing our potential and what we can actually get out the door.
So right now we're looking at the healthy buffer. Is it the normal condition or abnormal?
This is slightly more than a day. So we are allowing between 1 and 2 days. As we get close to 1, we'll launch more work to build up to 2. And then it'll kind of work its way down to 1. So we have a little more than 1 day of work in here right now. That's on the low end, but we always want to keep 1 to 2 days. That way there's never a time that we're without work in the weld shop, because once you starve the constraint, as you'll learn, that's lost output forever.
Basically, minute, 1 hour, 1 day, lost to the constraint. Guess what? It's 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour. Lost for the entire system. So it means you will never be able to get it back.
So Future State Engineering helped us set up a point system. This is a 4-point job, which means it has 4 weld hours in it. We just keep a total of how many points are in the weld shop. So 1 day is about 100 points. 2 days is 200 points. So we know this is a 4-point job, which means 4 hours of weld time. We always just now manage, make sure we have 100 to 200 points. As we start getting down to close to 100, that lets our director know he can launch another 100 points worth of work on the shop floor. If it's a no-point job, it doesn't go through the weld shop, so it'll just bypass through and out. So it's not going through the constraint. So that's our simplistic way of just managing how much is on the shop floor, is by simply how many points we have on the floor.
I love it, Charlie. It's simple, it's visual. Anybody can come and see if the condition is normal or abnormal. And guess what? It's visual at the constraint. And we got to make sure the constraint is busy. Many times, companies want to be busy everywhere just for the sake of being busy. Unfortunately, being busy doesn't mean being productive. And I guess your guys understand that now.
Yeah, that's this is where the production output happens. So we just make sure that we keep the weld shop filled, and then everyone else is free to be a rover and help out where they can. Because if you're in another station, all you're doing is really creating whip faster.
Yep.
So,
well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
So if you're a manufacturer looking at our videos, you really don't want to miss the opportunity of attending a half-day operational excellence workshop and see how those concepts can apply to you and how it can open up your mind to see how you can manage your operations maybe a little differently, but it can also generate massive results for your production.
Thing that comes out of working with Future State Engineering is we're developing a process or a system that can be repeated. Our business is 52 years old, and we have a lot of people who have the knowledge up here, but they're going to be retiring, and we're going to be moving on to younger people replacing them who don't have all the same knowledge base, and just everyone has their own way of doing things. Working with Future State Engineering, we are coming up with a simple, repeatable process that can be used and implemented at all of our locations, and it can be taught. So everybody who we have coming in, we can teach them. They're in line for promotions. It's just a system and a process that is teachable and repeatable. And for the long-term excellence of our business, I think that was a necessity.